Welcome to Connect Vegas. We feature conversations with Las Vegas creators and leaders, learn about their work, and explore our shared love of our favorite city. And now, welcome our host, Ben Levesky.
Hi, my name is Ben Levesky, introducing a conversation for the Connect Vegas podcast. This conversation is with my friend Nicole Bayreder. She is UNLV's Events and Communication Coordinator for the Office of Economic Development. That means she works out of Blackfire Innovation, which is a wonderful facility on Sunset near Buffalo. It has so much you'll learn about the work that they do there, innovation, the hub for the Valley. Nicole gets to interact with a lot of really cool people and put on a lot of great events there. She's in the center of one of the most interesting spots in the Valley for both innovation, research, entrepreneurism. So it was a real treat to get to talk to Nicole, and I really hope you enjoy this conversation. Thank you. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Connect Vegas. I'm here with Nicole Bayreder of UNLV. Nicole, maybe you could introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Yes. Hi, my name is Nicole Bayreder. I'm the Event and Communications Manager for UNLV's Office of Economic Development. But more commonly, people refer to me as Blackfire. I predominantly host events, tours, and engage with businesses at UNLV's Blackfire Innovation.
So I know a lot of people who've come through your office, your facility, but not everybody knows about Blackfire. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. Blackfire is a laboratory, or I should say a showroom, for displaying technology in hospitality, gaming, and entertainment. This relationship started with Caesars Entertainment and UNLV coming together to say, let's make this sandbox of innovation in what Las Vegas does best, and that is hospitality, gaming, and entertainment. And so we display a variety of technology from big businesses like LG and T-Mobile to some smaller, I can even say businesses, innovations from some of our UNLV students who are part of our gaming innovation class who have designed and patented gaming tables. And our role here is to bring together our outside industry partners, whether that's government officials or other businesses, to learn about technology and innovation they may have not heard about before or not even realize there's an opportunity to form those collaborations. And that's where our team at UNLV Economic Development comes in, with talking about all these different programs through the university, even beyond Blackfire that they can be involved in. Anything from research in our medical school to research in our hospitality school. We act as that vehicle, that bridge between UNLV and outside industry.
That was very good. I wonder if you've told people that once or twice before.
Only a few hundred times.
Now, Blackfire, you're located near Sunset in Buffalo, over near IKEA and the
Yes.
Durango. Your facility has a lot of different pieces to it. You've got the SBDC, you've got the Makerspace. Maybe you could talk about some of those different activities that go on inside of Blackfire.
Blackfire is such a small part of that bigger tree of economic development that I mentioned earlier. And so within that realm, we do have the SBDC, which, if you don't know, stands for the Nevada Small Business Development Center. They offer no-cost confidential advising services to small businesses. So if anyone listening here is looking for small business support, I recommend reaching out to your local Nevada SBDC. And if you're a UNLV student listening, we do have our Rebel Forge program, which is a subsection of the SBDC, where we help our UNLV students who want to be entrepreneurs get started in that career. From that, we also have our Makerspace, which is located on the third floor and what's currently known as our Rebel Work, which is like our co-working space. The Makerspace can help a lot of small businesses and our community members with getting ready for your first trade show. We got CES coming up. What else do we have? Oh, and within Rebel Work, we are helping out a lot of other businesses, both big and small, with really having a strong hold here in Southern Nevada, giving them a place to work, a place to collaborate. For a lot of these businesses, this is their very first office. So it's really powerful for us to give that experience to another business.
Is there a profile of the kind of businesses that are housed in Blackfire? Is there a common
Criterion?
Mhm.
Within Blackfire, which is on the fourth floor of that building, that's the laboratory. We are looking for innovations and technology in hospitality, gaming, or entertainment. While we do love innovations surrounding new dental products, it's not quite the right fit that we're looking for that laboratory, but that does mean our office can help you become a right fit by engaging with our university through our dental and medical school. So we're looking for anything in robotic hospitality. For example, we showcase robots that clean. They clean carpets, large areas. Something so simple like that means a lot to big organizations like MGM and Caesars. They need anything from unique ways of displaying casino technology. We have showcases from Aristocrat and IGT, thanks to our new collaborators, Boyd Gaming. And in our hotel room, we have a massage table, but it's not just any massage table. It massages using sound waves. So, Ben, I know you're smiling because I feel like you have been on this table before. It's an amazing experience because when you lay down, the speakers for the music you're listening to and the headphones are built into the table. So it's a fully immersive experience. It was inspired because of COVID-19. And thanks to a UNLV research student, we were able to now place this technology in Blackfire through a donation. So that's a little bit of a few examples of what we have at Blackfire and what we're looking to showcase. We aren't here to push products. We are here to inspire collaboration, inspire innovation, and really show that Southern Nevada is a strong ecosystem for innovation, research, and collaboration.
Love that. Let's shift to a little bit more about you.
Mhm.
Talk about where you grew up and some of your hobbies or interests when you were starting out.
Yeah, I am. I hear this is really rare. I'm born and raised. Started off in Henderson, Nevada. All my family is from the East Coast, but my dad was in the military. And when he came to Las Vegas, he fell in love with it. And so that's how me and my siblings wound up here. Growing up, I actually was an aspiring child actor. Ooh. I really thought that I was gonna make it on that Disney Channel. But as I got older, my career and interests shifted. I thought I was then gonna be a teacher. So when I went to UNLV to get my bachelor's degree, I thought that I was going to become a secondary education teacher. I got my bachelor's in English. And then I pivoted once again and actually fell in love with my career with the city of Henderson. So shout out anyone who's watching the city of Henderson. I was in Parks and Recreation for 6 years. I was nicknamed Leslie No, and I really thought I was going to be designing parks and playgrounds for the rest of my life. And just through some changes in movement in my career, I realized that this wasn't quite the right fit for me either. So I was lost and I didn't really know what to do, but I knew I wanted to change where I was working. And my older sister, Stephanie, works for the UNLV Business School. And so she came up to me and said, "Hey, you want to mix it up, but you love staying with government agencies? Try UNLV." So I went to LinkedIn and I just started looking at UNLV jobs. And this guy named Bo Bernhard posted about an event coordinator position for this place called Blackfire. And I had no idea who Bo was. And if any of you guys know Bo, he's our vice president for economic development. Started researching what Blackfire was. It was this really cool space. I thought, no way, UNLV has like this mini casino and hotel room, and they want me to plan events there. So I applied and I messaged Bo on LinkedIn like a weirdo saying, "Hi, I'm Nicole. I used to be a student at UNLV. I applied to this job. I really hope that I get the chance to interview with you." And Bo wrote back and he's excellent. Fill out the application. We'd love to meet with you. We fast forward and I got hired into this role and I walked into this Blackfire space and there'd never been an event coordinator prior to me. So I just got to work and figuring out how we were going to put events on here. And since then, now I'm not just doing events, but I'm also doing marketing for our economic development office. I do our newsletter. If you guys aren't following our OED newsletter or Firewire, which is our special Blackfire Innovation newsletter, please, I'll provide that information after this. But yeah, I do our social media. I make our TikToks and I also am helping in the remodel of our laboratory. So if you guys come and visit us in 2025, you'll see some upgraded technology. And we're really trying to revamp and make all these new connections. And it's so amazing that at 26, I get to be a part of that and watch this whole tech park grow.
Uh, Love all of that. Love the shout out to Bo. His energy is just incredibly infectious. Maybe you could speak on the events that you have there. You've got some wonderful event spaces. If there's any notable ones that stand out or that you want to mention.
Yes, definitely. We have quite the unique event space. When you come into Blackfire, it is not just a square ballroom with some chairs in it. You're literally stepping into a laboratory, which is our goal first and foremost. But within the events, you're setting up in a mini casino, or you're hosting a Shark Tank in our esports arena, or a gaming competition in there. You're walking through our cafe, which is soon going to be built out by Hard Rock Cafe. Some notable events that we host is for the past, goodness, this year will be year 4. So I should say for the past 3 years, this year being year 4, we have hosted the Nevada Hotel and Lodging Association Expo. It's an all-day event. It's really cool. Ben, I feel like you've been there a few times to the NHLA. It brings together hotel, lodging, and casinos, everything that Blackfire is all about, right to our little laboratory, getting to see all new technology. We do a Shark Tank event for small businesses. We do speed networking, which I will say is my favorite event ever to host at Blackfires. Anytime we do a speed networking themed event, it is very well received. So 10 out of 10, anyone who does those. I know LVIMA, which is Las Vegas International Marketing Association. Ben, did I say that acronym right?
Innovation.
Thank you. Sorry. They always do speed networking. They do a really great job. Some other events we have coming up November 8th. We have the Brylon Demo Day. Demo days are huge at Blackfire. It's where we shut down for the whole day, dedicated to one piece or sometimes 2 pieces of technology. And we invite industry professionals, UNLV research students, faculty, anyone in the community can come to Blackfire and experience this technology directly from the producers and researchers and creators to figure out if this is a piece of tech you want to implement. Brylon is a immersive display. So think about doing, Ben, have you ever done a virtual reality? You ever put the headset on?
Sure.
How does it make you feel when you put the headset on?
Claustrophobic.
Perfect answer. Nothing against virtual reality. It hurts my eyes, so I can't do it. The screen acts like virtual reality. It gives you that same 3-dimensional feel. And the technology has multiple use cases for casino gaming, imaging, esport gaming. But I don't want to go too on into that because then you won't come to Demo Day. So definitely check out Brylon Demo Day. And then we also have Bot Talk next week. We are bringing robots from Blackfire to the main campus, to our brand new advanced engineering building. We are going to assemble a panel featuring LG, Cardinal Robotics, Talos, and Robot Lab. And it'll be moderated by Dr. Robert Rippey, who is our executive director for Blackfire Innovation. And we'll be talking about robotic integration into the workforce, a very controversial subject. And our UNLV students, faculty, and again, anyone out here in Southern Nevada is welcome to participate. The event is completely free. We have plenty of seats still left. So I encourage you to look up UNLV Bot Talk if you guys would like to come out and participate.
Well, I don't know if we'll be published before that event,
That's okay.
but you mentioned your newsletter. How do people stay up with, like, it's a flood
Mhm.
of events that go on at Blackfire. How do people keep up with what's going on there?
Yeah. So our newsletter, which then I'd be happy to share the link with you if you are able to post links with this podcast. If not, you can go to UNLV/econdev. At the very bottom of our page, you can subscribe yourself to the newsletter or feel free to reach out to myself and I can add you to our newsletter. Comes out monthly, features events and updates related to all areas in our economic development, which includes Blackfire, sports innovation, some of our collaborators. A special message always from Dr. Bernhard, Bo Bernhard, about what's going on here at the Tech Park. So you can definitely subscribe yourself that way. Follow us on social media, our Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We're always posting about events regularly if you want to participate. And when in doubt, feel free to always send me an email if you'd just like to know what's coming up. Fall is our busiest time of the year. We have a lot going on, both on and off campus. I'd be more than happy to share any information that I can with anyone who's interested in getting more involved with either Office of Economic Development and its programs or specifically Blackfire Innovation.
Let me give you a shout out. As busy as you are, you actually are extremely responsive.
Thank you. Thank you.
So clearly you don't sleep much.
No, that's okay. Everybody else, they're like, you're young. You'll get sleep later.
Is there anything else you want to mention about Blackfire or your events that you run that we didn't talk about?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we have. We have several pitch events in the works. Pitch Mayhem, which is sponsored by Blackfire Innovation and Governor's Office of Economic Development, GOED. They do a regular pitch event here at Blackfire. It's very much like a Shark Tank feel. You come in, I think they give you like 3 minutes to pitch in front of a panel of judges, and then they evaluate your startup. Highly recommend anyone who is trying to get into the startup community, look for events like Pitch Mayhem, Startup. Trying to think. There was a pitch event that happened yesterday that I went to that was downtown. Be looking into those sort of events to get the practice of pitching your business and getting in front of people. Best advice that someone has ever given me in my career is it's not who you know, but who knows you. So if you're trying to gain support and grow your network, get in front of as many people as you can if you are a startup and you're trying to grow. I'd also say if you have interest in getting to know the technology we feature here at Blackfire, the name Boyd Gaming is huge for us. If you are trying to get in front of Boyd Gaming, we'd like to know how we can assist with that relationship and at least getting some sort of interaction going. We can always put in an ask and see if they're interested. If they are, great. If not, there might be something else here at Blackfire or through another relationship that we may be able to help collaborate and bring together on.
That's fantastic. Like you're in the center of so many cool different things that are going on. I'm sure you get surprised on a regular basis with things that are pretty exciting.
Oh, most definitely. We are now working on a capital equity symposium in April. That's going to be a new one for me. It's nice that we are having an event dedicated to how do we help startups receive funding. I found out yesterday that in Nevada, I guess we only have 1 or 2 or 3 major enterprises that help with capital funding specifically for startups. And places like New Mexico and Arizona have 14 or 12 or 16. What's Nevada doing? We need to support our entrepreneurs and our startups. So be on the lookout that come April, we will be hosting our very first Capital Equity Symposium.
All
And I
right.
think that one is sponsored by Freshwater.
Okay. That's great. Because you think of the more scientific research, it's a research university you're in,
Yes,
but the business side of it and helping facilitate the growth of the ecosystem is really important as well.
most definitely. And you mentioned research, quick pivot onto that. Going to main campus and being involved if you are looking for research in robotics, engineering, medical, almost every specific college hosts its own event related to those topics. There's the undergraduate research symposium that they host. There's, oh my goodness, I'm blanking right now on the other one that they have. But it's every semester, these students are coming out with the research that they've done, whether they're grad or undergrad, looking for feedback, looking for support. There's always an opportunity for outside industries and outside organizations to collaborate with UNLV. Again, if it's not through Blackfire, it might be through another institution that's just a better fit.
Yeah. Oh, quick shout out to my friends at the Sports Innovation Institute.
Jay
Mhm.
Vickers, Margot, Nancy.
Mm.
Oh, love all of them.
Yep. They're doing some great work as well. All right. Let's get back to some recommendations from you. Is there a book you recommend or you've maybe given more often as a gift?
Yes. I have 2 books in mind. The first one is Tuesdays with Maury. A friend of mine gave me that. It's the story of a young man who's older now, going through just the woes of life, marriage, family, trying to establish that work-life balance. And he finds out his favorite professor from college is sick and he is dying. And so every Tuesday he goes back and he visits with his professor to ask about life and get advice and try to soak up as much knowledge as possible. And I really like that book, and I like to give it to other people because it really does remind us to take a moment and pause and reflect. Our careers are so important to us, but there's so many other things like family and experiences and traveling, and taking advantages of the time and health that you have and making sure that you're really enjoying it. And so I like to give that to a lot of, and really anyone of any age, but predominantly young people getting out of college, is to remember you have your whole life ahead of you. Don't get sucked into all the bad stuff. Definitely make time for the good. So I read that book sometimes when I feel like I haven't spent enough time taking care of me when I'm not sleeping because I'm doing all these events, and reminding myself to, when's the last time I called my dad or my mom and checked in with them or asked them for advice? There's going to come a time when they're not there. And that information and that support, you can't get it back.
All
We're
right.
just getting deep on this podcast.
Well, you said 2 books.
Yes, my other one is Oh, the Places You'll Go. It's a Dr. Seuss book. It's my favorite gift to give. Again, for being a children's book, that's another one that gets really deep. Talks about the highs and lows of life, all the challenges you're going to face, all the accomplishments too. It also reminds us to celebrate our little wins and our big wins, not be so hard on ourselves, not be so critical. It's one that I gave to my friends both when I was graduating high school, and then I took that same book and passed it on to my friends when I was graduating college. And I like to look back and reflect on some of the comments that people have wrote or written about me or advice that they've given. And it's just a way to make me feel good for a minute about maybe when life isn't feeling all that great. I've been really critical about some events that I've had recently because I just feel like I haven't hit it quite right. Attendees could have been better. We could have been sharper. The marketing could have been better. Everything could have been better. And sometimes I need to take a minute and use that book and think, what were the things we did do really well? What were the things we did hit? What were the accomplishments we did have? And I'm trying to just keep that positivity and that positive vibe going. So 2 books, highly recommend, good reads.
All right. I don't know if they let you out the door enough to go to other groups, but are there other groups or organizations that you recommend that help you keep connected with people in the Valley?
Ben, I leave that up to you. You're always keeping me connected.
It's
Startup
a
and
weakness I have.
Startup Envy I've recently connected with. If any of you guys were at Blackfire last week or this previous week in October, they hosted a really great week-long event all dedicated to entrepreneurism and startups and support. They are very in tune with different organizations, and I'm really happy I just formed a relationship with someone on their team because I feel like that's someone I can go to and say, hey, like how do you get more entrepreneurs at your event? How do you get more capital investors at your events? How do you engage? Who do you engage with? Do you strictly stay with Southern Nevada or do you branch out? It's nice to almost have somebody who's more seasoned in that field than myself to go to and bounce ideas off of. Another great organization that's really cool that's out here at Blackfire is Zero Labs. You've been, I feel, to a few events with Zero Labs.
I spent time with you and Madeline from Startup NV at the last one.
Yeah. Zero Labs, of course, is a launch pad for startups in any stage, whether they're in ideation, acceleration, or commercialization. But depending on where you are at in your stage, they pair you with some mentors, they give you support. It's a 3-day long intensive event. You're there for almost 12 hours each day. Plus, that cocktail party is always super cool. They are really great for me when I am looking to have entrepreneurs at my event as either maybe we're doing a pitch competition or I need a keynote, someone who's living what it is we are trying to advocate for. So they have been a great support to me. And they've also been a huge support to our university. Our students don't know that there's all these other resources available to them. And credit to faculty, they are really trying. We're doing newsletters, we're posting to social media, we're trying to get with individual professors to advocate for all these resources and programs. And I love that Zero Labs puts a heavy focus in their marketing on making sure that UNLV students at any stage know that they are welcome to apply to this program. And many have been accepted. They've been regularly supported. Huge shout out to Zero Labs and the connections they've brought to me. Ryan and Quentin, they've always got my back. They're at all my events, supporting me, speaking at all these events. I actually went back to school recently, well, not recently, this semester, to get my MBA. And they're helping me with my homework because I have to make my own startup. And after watching all these other startups, I'm like, oh, I'm totally qualified to do this. No, I'm not. I'm not. I need their support, Startup NV support. I need support all over. It's rough. So shout out to anyone who's doing it.
That's fantastic. Other than the business groups you mentioned, are there any community or nonprofit organizations that you recommend around town?
GoEd, Governor's Office of Economic Development, is a great resource. Honestly, go to all of your local government agencies, City of Las Vegas, Clark County, Henderson, North Las Vegas. They all in some way have a program to help with small businesses or entrepreneurs. And if not, they can refer you to other programs like the SBDC, who can also support you. I'm trying to think if there's another one that I'm forgetting that is a nonprofit. Ben, help me out here. Is there anyone you're thinking of? I know I'm missing somebody. Someone on this podcast is going to email me and say, you're definitely forgetting somebody.
Oh, it's all right. There's a million wonderful groups. And
Hmm.
just like you talked about the government folks, there's so many dedicated people in each of those Clark County, Henderson, Vegas, North Las Vegas. There's wonderful people in all of those cities and government entities helping people to go through their entrepreneurial journey.
Hmm. Hmm. Most definitely. And trying Pitch Mayhem, I don't believe is a non-profit, but I know that to my knowledge, there's no cost in participating. So I would definitely recommend checking out Pitch Mayhem. And they're very regularly in here. Oh, another one, because they're coming up. They're literally tonight. See, Ben, I knew I was going to mess up. Tonight and every month, we host a Gathering of Angels. If you guys have never looked up Las Vegas Gathering of Angels, that is an organization for capital investors. So if you're a capital investor looking to learn about what other innovations and entrepreneurs are out here, you can attend their events, which are hosted here at Blackfire once a month in the evening. You'll hear pitches, and then you'll be given slide deck information afterwards if you'd like to approach those entrepreneurs and invest in them. So entrepreneurs, if you want to get in front of investors, Las Vegas Gathering of Angels.
I learned about them just before this call.
Hmm.
So always excited when I find new groups that are trying to contribute to the city and help grow founders and startups here.
Most definitely. And they are a great organization to work with. They're who's doing that capital equity event that's coming up in April that I'm working on with Dr. Rippey.
Okay. We'll stay tuned for that.
Hmm.
On when you're not at the office, what's your favorite meal in Las Vegas?
Las Vegas. This is going to sound so bad. In-N-Out Burger. I don't, it's, look, I know you're looking for something probably like bougie, the Hell's Kitchen, but I'm not making Hell's Kitchen money. So it's In-N-Out Burger for sure. People who know me at work know that I'm literally like pretty particular about what I eat. I'm a huge gym nut. I'm always trying to work out. If I'm leaving work at 4 o'clock, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to the gym. But on the off chance that I get to have my little cheat meal, I like to go to In-N-Out and I get a double with fries. I don't get them animal style because I don't like onions, fun fact, but I do like their spread. And I get a double cheeseburger with lettuce. And on occasion, I'll get it protein style. But when I'm feeling like saucy, I get the regular. And I get I think it's called a Neapolitan shake. I think that's when it's the strawberry and the chocolate together. Yes, but definitely I like In-N-Out. And trying to think if there's other good food that I really enjoy. But what do you like to eat in Las Vegas?
Oh gosh. I go down a rabbit hole of steakhouses.
Mm.
You can spend your entire year just eating at steakhouses in Vegas and never have a bad meal.
You ever done Echo and Reg in Green Valley? There's also one in
Yes.
Summerlin.
Yeah.
Okay. Just had Echo and Rig. My boyfriend and I celebrated our 3rd year anniversary, and it was my turn to treat him. I took him to Echo and Rig. That was really good. I've never felt like more of a celebrity in a restaurant than being there. That service was amazing. The food was so good. We had tenderloin, and I had tri-tip. Tri-tip. And they brought out the sauces. So good. 10 out of 10.
They have a great brunch as well.
They have that brunch?
They got brunch.
Okay. We're going to need to save up and head on back.
Yeah. We could talk about brunching through Las Vegas too.
Why is that not a podcast? Brunching through Las Vegas.
There's so many podcasts, it probably is.
Oh my gosh, I have so many good brunch places. I love brunch. Brunch needs to be a more regular thing. I think work should start at a soft 9 or 10 a.m. so people can go to brunch.
I think that is the only civilized way for us to proceed.
Excellent. If you believe in it, call your local government. Tell them workday should start 9 or 10 a.m.
All right. And last Vegas question, what are favorite spots to view the city?
Mm. Okay, it's going to be weird. On top of UNLV's Tropicana parking garage. Used to be a really good spot. It's a great spot. UNLV's parking garage is really cool. Don't leave your car there. You will get ticketed if you don't have your little student or faculty pass. But when I went to UNLV, I was in a sorority. I was a Gamma Phi Beta. And there were times when I'd be there late for meetings and we'd go grab some food, usually In-N-Out or Cane's or Chipotle. And we drive all the way up to the top of the Tropicana parking garage and you just sit on the hood of your car and eat and you chat with your girlfriends or my boyfriend at the time and we would just hang out. really nice spot. I haven't been back there in a long time, but I'd like to do a before and after photo, the strip looked like when I went there and what it looks like now. I mean, we've got the Sphere, the Fountain Blue. Soon we're gonna have the Hard Rock because the Mirage is gonna be taken down.
Mhm.
It's so cool to see because Nevada's so flat, all of the new things that are coming through and watching that city change and morph and grow. And it doesn't look like what it was when my parents first moved here in 1993.
How do you think about that? How Vegas is different now than when you were growing up?
My favorite thing about it is I feel like it's more like family oriented. My parents didn't really take us down to the strip when we were young because it was a little more provocative. Now I love that the shows and the advertisements make Las Vegas feel more family friendly. I'm always conflicted on, though, all of the change. Other cities, I don't feel like change the way our city does. And I almost wonder, do we lose some of that history, our grassroots of what it was like years ago when it was being developed? Every time you knock down one of the older casinos to put up something new, does it almost feel it's too forced or it's too much? I'm all for new businesses coming in and shaking things up, but sometimes it's a little sad to look at photos and the hotel that I used to love is not there anymore. I I don't know. I feel like that's almost a weird feeling.
It makes it a little special when you go into
Yeah,
a Binion's or a El Cortez or
yeah,
Bootlegger, some of these places that have been there for a long time. There's fewer of them now.
yeah. And I'd love to see the older ones, be more modernized, move with the times, make sure you're providing your guests with a better experience. But like Las Vegas wouldn't be Las Vegas if we didn't have Luxor or we didn't have Stratosphere. Are places like them ever going to be taken away and upgraded to something so new that it almost isn't Las Vegas anymore? And that is something I worry about. Doesn't keep me up at night, but it's definitely something I think about when I drive through the strip is where we see the city going. There's a lot of change with F1 and all of these new sports teams. And it's so nice for our economy to have things like that. But sometimes I want Las Vegas to just stay the same for a little bit and let all of us locals here like really enjoy it before all the touristy people come and clutter our streets.
That doesn't seem to be the prevailing approach.
Does it? It doesn't. Wow. But it's great. I love it. It's awesome.
Hey, we're going to be a movie studio town soon.
Yes. I'm a little limited in what I'm allowed to share on the movie studio. Gotta look.
I don't want to get you in trouble, but
No. What I can share is it's still in the works. All right. We're still having conversations with Berkshire Development and Warner Brothers, but there are the higher powers that be that need to help us move this along. But from what I know, it's still happening and it's exciting. And the role it's going to play for our university students and being able to give them real work experience on a movie set, it's gonna be like that's what UNLV is really special about is all the hospitality students are required to get a certain amount of hours before they graduate of real work and life experience. And there's only so much our campus can offer because there's only so many jobs available to these students that they can have that qualifies for that, that forces them to have to go out into the industry. And we don't want our film students to have to go to Los Angeles just to have that real experience when we have a whole campus we could dedicate through the Las Vegas Media Lab to that program and what that would do for resume building, getting them out of the classroom, learning about what this life is actually like. So that way our young people are more prepared for that workforce life.
all right. Well, I'm excited. As soon as details are available, I want to know them.
They'll be in our newsletter.
Okay.
We actually have, it's secret, we have a special newsletter dedicated to the movie studios. It was going to launch. And then I got the kibosh that said, don't release it yet. So I'm waiting patiently, but I have a newsletter just sitting in my constant contact right now, waiting to be released that gives some insights to several different perspectives on this development. So fingers crossed, guys, that I get the green light because I will be releasing it.
All right. We will include the links to how to get access
Mhm.
to your newsletters on this when we publish this. Here's the last question for you. If you had a phrase or a quote or idea that you could just share with millions of people, what would that be?
My dad had a really good one that I think about a lot. And I don't know if it's his original quote or if he heard it from somewhere else, but his whole thing is life is about choices. Hear it from my father. His name's Steve. When he gets like this and he gets all preachy, I call him Old Man Steve. My dad said, life is about choices. And I think about that when I come into work and maybe I didn't sleep well, or I got a lot of personal stuff going on, and I have this really long event and this really needy client, and I just don't want to be there, and I don't want to give 100%. And I think I'm going to make a choice, and we're going to need to choose the right option here. And that is to suck it up, check my attitude at the door, and remember that I'm here representing my university. And I need to have a positive, rebel ready smile and give my client and those guests the experience that they deserve. And even beyond work, I think life is about choices. When I decided to go back to school, I don't need to have a master's degree, but I knew I wanted one. And I kept putting it off and putting it off. And I had all these excuses why I didn't go back to school. I didn't have the money, or I didn't have the time, or I started a new job, or I moved in with my boyfriend and all this other nonsense. And my dad got on the phone with me and he goes, life's about choices. You can wait till you're in your 40s and 50s and finally decide to go back to school when it might not even matter. Or you can wait till that interview comes up and they say, wow, Nicole, you're really great. Your person with you or the competitor has an MBA and you just have a bachelor's degree. And it's because I didn't make the choice to be better. And so that's just kind of something that I keep in the back of my mind when life and time calls for it, when we need to make a good choice, and hoping that I make the good choices more often than not. Ladies and gentlemen, life's about choices. Make the good ones.
That's advice that's more fun to share than hear, but it
No,
does.
I know.
I mean, it does remind you that you are in control and you're driving.
I am driving. And there's some things that are out of my control, and that's the thing I struggle with. But for the things that I can, like my attitude, my ethic at work, the relationships I choose to maintain, that's all my choice. And I need to make sure that I'm choosing good things.
That's a great note to end on. One more time, remind people how they can follow you or get in touch.
Awesome. Obviously, I'm going to share some links. So hopefully if we do a little description on this podcast, we can have some of those posted. Follow us on social media, UNLV.our newsletters, our economic development newsletter, and Firewire. And I also recommend checking out other UNLV social medias. Find your favorite college, all right? If you went to school for business, you should be following Lee Business School from UNLV on Instagram to learn about all of their great tech mixers, career events, learning about ways that you can get involved with UNLV. Follow us on TikTok if you'd like to see some funny videos of the technology feature. Again, that's UNLV.OED. And when in doubt, feel free to send me an email, say hi, introduce yourself. And if I can't help you, I will get you hopefully to the person who can be helpful to you. And that's all I got for getting involved.
Thank you. And thank you for your time. And I can't wait to see you at the next event.
Thank you so much.
All right.